We're getting some news coming over the wire right now. Apparently, the California State Legislature has agreed to a budget. Finally, Governor Schwarzenegger has agreed that he'll sign the bill in a matter of hours, actually. So we had reported earlier in the week that the California state government was laying people off, so that may have been avoided. In other news politically, the President of the United States is up in Ottawa, Canada right now. Barack Obama's first foreign trip as president is a down-to-business visit with an essential economic ally in Canada. It's the first time he's going to meet Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper. The Canadians and the Americans, of course, have the largest trading relationship between any two countries in the world. And for all the talk of ending a dangerous dependence on foreign oil, the United States depends more on Canada for imported oil than it does on any other country, including Saudi Arabia. Mr. Obama is staying in Canada for only 7 hours. He's not even staying there for dinner tonight. He's coming bearing a pro-trade message to assuage Canadian concerns over protectionism. You'll recall that during the presidential election campaign, then candidate Obama spoke about renegotiating the North American Fair Trade Agreement. There is going to be no mention of that today, we're sure. Last night at about 7 p.m. in England, a helicopter went down up in the North Sea off the coast of Scotland. All 18 people on board were rescued. 16 passengers and 2 crew members were taken to an oil platform near where the Super Puma helicopter went down, about 120 miles east of Aberdeen. The helicopter had been apparently ferrying oil worker platforms back and forth. It was heading towards an oil platform in the middle of the North Sea, having taken off from Aberdeen. Meanwhile, in the Caribbean, France has sent hundreds of police reinforcements to Guadeloupe, as now month-long strikes over declining economic conditions have spilled into violence. The French Interior Ministry has sent 280 police reinforcements. The move comes after a 50-year-old union activist was shot dead driving his car near a roadblock manned by armed youths in Pointe-à-Pitre, the island's largest town. Nicolas Sarkozy, the French president, said he would meet with elected officials from the island today in Paris to, quote, address the anxiety, worries, and also a certain form of despair from our compatriots. Union leaders on the island say that there are fears that the unrest could indeed spread to mainland France. And in the United States, during the presidential election campaign and as part of President Obama's energy plans, there is a renewed emphasis on nuclear energy. However, firms building nuclear power plants will have to present designs that limit the possible effects of large planes hitting the facilities. This according to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. The rules are designed to limit the impact of a potentially catastrophic September 11th style attack on the reactors. The rules were approved yesterday in Washington. The new regulations mean that cooling systems will be able to function and fissionable material will remain stable in the event of a 747 hitting the plant. No new reactor has been built in the United States since the partial meltdown at 3 Mile Island in 1979. These new rules will not apply to any of the 104 existing nuclear power plants. Some news from Bermuda. Bermuda on Monday was hit with hurricane-force winds that left 9,000 people without power. Gusts peaked at about 92 knots. Temperatures dipped to 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Thunder, lightning, and hail accompanied the driving rain. The causeway out to the airport was closed to traffic for most of the night. Bus service was disrupted. The Bermuda Weather Service said that the winds reached the strength of a Category 2 hurricane, but said that it was not unusual for a winter storm. The power supplier said that the gale-force winds between 10:30 and 11:45 p.m. Monday night disabled 28 circuits, causing power outages in pockets across the island. Such an event had an effect on air travel. American Airlines Flight 1444 out of Kennedy, which is the night flight down to Bermuda, was scheduled to arrive at 8:45 p.m. Only minutes from landing, the pilot was forced to abort and go all the way back to New York. Some other news from the Bermuda Gazette mentioned that violent crime is soaring according to the 2008 crime statistics. It indicated that murder, robbery, and firearms offenses are all on the increase. Overall crime is on the up and up now for the 4th successive year, with nearly 3,000 offenses, recording the highest figure since '02. The police released these statistics yesterday. They show firearms offenses in Bermuda rose from 12 to 19 in '08. Having 19 firearms offenses in a country, if you're an American, seems like very positive news. Frequently we talk about global warming, and it's always in the negative sense. Who amongst us can deny a little bit of glee on those unusual warm days in the midst of winter when you walk around wearing only a sweater and you make a joke to somebody saying, well, this is one of the benefits of global warming. After all, it's 55 degrees in the middle of January. Apparently, as lay people, we're not the only ones. This is a bit dismaying. Global warming may be worry to low-lying lands in Russia, but the country's top meteorologist, their top weatherman, said yesterday that warmer temperatures could help to cut heating bills in one of the world's coldest countries. This is Alexander Bedritsky. He's the head of Russia's State Weather Center. He's saying that global warming will allow the heating season to be reduced, and this is a positive factor for us as it will allow us to economize on fuel. Russia is one of the biggest producers of carbon dioxide as it burns vast amounts of oil and gas to heat houses during the bitter winter months, where temperatures regularly fall below 58 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. Heating bills in Russia, according to Beritsky, could be cut 5 to 10% by the year 2050 if current trends continued. Of course, Mr. Bedritsky is overlooking the fact that people will no longer be able to breathe and half the country will be underwater, and various other catastrophes will have already befallen him and the world. If we have any other breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.